Hi, it's Neil here. We're at Green Now Farm, and we've got Ian Gray from Rickerbys here. We're just quickly having a look over. We've got the new 5500 combine which we've bought, and Ian's just here. We've been setting up the GPS in the grass field. We've not gone completely mad and trying to take a crop off this grass field. Ian's been here just setting it up, so we've done that. He's going to give us just a quick once over the combine, just some of the differences between this new range and our old 530 Montana, which went away. So yeah, I'll just hand you over. Ian's here. He's just going to talk us some of the major bits, just like the drum and various things that we have on the combine that's different.
Thanks, Neil.
Do you want to do that, Ian? Yep.
Thanks so much. No, we'll just give you a quick overview what the new Lexion's all about. So Claas have just really sort of taken a machine that was really good and efficient and just made it a little bit better. It's all about just squeezing a little bit more. So even the physical size of a machine nowadays, it can't get any bigger for road transport, etc. So they've just tried to find a way of making it more efficient and harvest more in a day and just make it a better for value money machine. So where they started is actually where the business end of harvesting is the threshing. So as you can see, this little panels off here. So this is the main drum of the new 1000 series. The drum is a much bigger drum. It's got 2 more rasp bars on than the old type drum. It's a closed drum as well, so nothing can get between the rasp bars, so everything's forced out. The concave underneath the drum is a lot longer, and the line of flow is a lot flatter, so you get a lot more progressive, easy flow crop. So it's actually more gentle on the crop, it's more effective. 90% of grains are separated in this area when you're harvesting, so you've got a much bigger area, much bigger chance, giving the rest of the combine separation a lot less to do. So just moving back, incidentally, the front end of the combine is very similar to the old 100 series. It has the APS that sorts out any lumps or bumps, loses any grains out under that into the prep floor, giving the drum maximum capacity. So basically, a lot bigger, a lot longer, a lot smoother, a lot safer on your crop. So another little feature worth mentioning on the threshing side of things. Previously, you would have to climb inside to put an intensive threshing segment in on the old Lexion. On the new machine, it's done completely from the cab. There's a ram here that turns this lever, which rolls in 2 more threshing bars on your concave, just to give you a bit more aggressive threshing if conditions are a bit tough. But obviously we'll have it in a smooth position now, and you've got maximum separation because all your baffles are up, and this ram here would close the concave up. Obviously being so big, you might want to make it smaller because there's too much trash in dry conditions. So plenty of area, but controllable. So just quickly before we move on the back of the combine, you'll notice there's a big area in here, another pulley. So that is an extra rotary separator after the main drum before the straw walkers. Obviously it's been a straw walker combine. Previously we relied on the straw walkers to use gravity to separate the grains, but we do have a powered separation here as well. So 500, you can see the power spreader here. So Neil's obviously opted for that. So what it's doing is taking chopped straw and chaff, which is coming from the blowers behind, and mixing them up and spreading them full width. Obviously the cultivar is 7.7 meters, but this power spreader is able of spreading up to 12 meters or above. So the important thing is for Neil, he's using a direct drilling system. So you're preparing your straw, chopping it finely, mixing it with chaff and spreading it very evenly, because effectively this machine here is your first cultivation when you're talking about direct drillers. So a lot more beefier on the paddles. This used to be rubber with fine teeth now. You want one of them catching you because they're quite aggressive, but they do make a good job. And the paddles in the middle oscillate to keep a nice even spread. 2 levers here, so it depends on the straw, whether it's wet or dry or long or short, you can actually increase the amount of chop. So you can see the stationary blades there. If I want a bit more chop, I simply take the knives out, put them in, depending on how much I chop, put them in the middle. At the same time here, you've got another little quick release lever. So you pull the lever, that puts in a fine chop step just to give a bit more resistance within the chopper to get a bit extra chop. Probably if it's damper conditions and you're not getting the preferred result down there, you can come and adjust this nice and easy. On the right hand side of the machine, you can see our clean grains elevator. It's obviously a little bit bigger than it was previously to take more grain. This is very much the same, which measures the moisture of the grain. The quantimeter is totally different. It's on a stress measurement now inside the tank, so calibrate it once and it should be fit for the season. So a lot more user friendly, a lot more accurate. Just moving forward, just on the maintenance side, obviously there's your variator pulleys for your threshing system. There's no more grease nipples on them, so all just oil and this. So again, just making it easier for the operator on his daily maintenance. It's minimal. And just to mention, when we're on the subject, the machine is a lot better laid out. There's a lot less flat edges, so build up of materials a lot.
upgrade in the combine was, apart from the header, was really the tracks. Moved to tracks for the first time, something that I've always wanted to have on a combine, but normally you needed to go to a very big combine to get the tracks, but this is a smaller 5-walker combine, straw walker, so, and it has the tracks. Because of the direct sort of drilling that we're doing, the strip tilling, it's quite a key thing to try and reduce the compaction. And you know, we are finding in Scotland that we do get these wetter conditions at harvest, so we're hoping the tracks is going to make a big difference. Now we're at literally at the cutting edge. We changed, one of the big changes for the front end of the combine. This is a long-term investment for Harry and I, so we thought we'd try and kind of future-proof it a bit. And we're really impressed with some of the videos, all these video with his demo Convio, and some of the stuff Ian had shown us, and some stuff Claas have online. And the Convio looked like it was going to be, you know, a great step up in output. So we thought we'd cut quite a lot of different crops here, you know, from short spring barleys to long winter barleys to rape and beans, and who knows, you know, with the pulses thing we might go back into peas. So we thought that something like this would be a great thing for the future, and we're hoping it's going to turn out to be as good as it looks. And Ian will tell you maybe something about the running gear on it.
Yeah, thanks Neil. Yeah, this there's a sharp cutting edge. The knife's fundamentally the same on the Convio header. There is a little guard here just to protect stirrups when we get onto the belts, but this is the big difference with the previous cutter bar. With Vario cutter bar, have a big auger, so it will be bringing material in, but the floor will be steel and it will be static. So basically you would get a bit of friction. If the crop got wet and didn't want to travel, that's when you got the problems. It would try and go up the back, and then it would try and come over the middle. And some days it would just be a case of stopping harvesting, but we know sometimes we just have to keep going. So with the belts, it's a forced non-friction feed to the combine. So you've got 2 belts either side with a little short belt going in the middle. There is a small auger there with retractable fingers, but that's just transferring front to back to the elevator. So the big difference being the feed of the crop. The other big thing, obviously, up here in the north of England and Scotland, we had tough conditions. Sometimes, you know, we get tall crops and they can get twisted. Weather conditions, the soil's damp, so a big problem can be getting underneath and travelling forward to the combine with the skids on an old type Vario cutter bar would create a bit of bulldozing. If you have a quick look under here, if you get these skids past any obstacle, there's nothing really to stop anything going under the cutter bar, and you continuing forward in the driving seat, not having to get down off the steps and pulling soil off the knife. So that's what we're quite excited about, and seeing how this machine performs in tough damp conditions.
One of the things that Ian touched on there was flat crops, and obviously we're not trying to grow flat crops, but sometimes you do get very low crops or crops that get lodged for whatever reason. And that was one of the things that I really liked about the Convio, the reel, is you have these plastic tines instead of the metal tines, and you can actually set those with a torque level, so you can put those down into the crop. I think the videos I watched last year, and I mentioned Ollie again, you know, picking up an unbelievable lying crop. And then he showed it in behind, and it was totally clean in behind. So, you know, if we are in that situation, we're hoping that these plastic tines are going to do that job for us. It's going to just bring it up, and the belt will carry it through. Even if it is short, it'll be carried through. We also have these, which Ian was just saying, they do come as standard, but it's the kind of bushy crop auger he was calling it. And we do have rape, and it'll be really handy in the beans. It's just, if we have something that's very tall and it's falling into the back there, that'll just catch the head and just carry it in, just to keep the crop flow as good as the belt can make it go. So that's one of the key things of this header, and we're, as Ian said, really keen to see how it's going to go this season, because we have some good long crops and some crops that are looking heavy, so be interesting.